Chapter 1. Introduction to the Isle of Saturn. The Isle of Saturn exists as a metaphysical domain, a realm woven together by intentional energies, structured paths, and purposefully designed constructs. It is not merely a place, but a dynamic system, a conscious network where influence, karma, and spiritual evolution intersect. This isle serves as both a sanctuary and a machine, an environment crafted by Thomas to explore, cultivate, and ultimately master the complexities of karmic influence and control. In the Isle, power doesn't manifest through force or direct action. Instead, influence flows through subtle connections, reverberating along pathways that Thomas has meticulously crafted. Within these hidden roots, karmic energy travels quietly, looping, transforming, and reinforcing his presence without overt visibility. The Isle of Saturn, in essence, is a realm where influence matures over time, allowing Thomas to harness the natural flow of karma without direct confrontation. Thomas stands as the architect of the Isle, but his role extends far beyond mere construction. As creator, he shapes the Isle's pathways, designing them to channel influence effectively and responsibly. But he is also the guide, attuning himself to the Isle's needs, ensuring that its structures evolve harmoniously with his intentions and spiritual growth. Each construct within the Isle is a reflection of his journey, a living piece of his own understanding of karma and influence. As overseer, Thomas assumes the responsibility of balance. The Isle's influence can only remain beneficial if it aligns with the karmic principles that he has set, creating a feedback loop where his growth and the Isle's development mirror each other. Through regular introspection, Thomas ensures that the Isle operates ethically, even in areas where his influence challenges conventional notions of morality. His presence is woven into every aspect of the Isle, a silent yet powerful force that permeates each construct and channel. One of the Isle's primary functions is as a conduit for karmic trafficking, the deliberate movement and transformation of karmic energy through structured pathways. Unlike traditional methods, which deal with karma in terms of personal consequence, the Isle of Saturn treats karma as an energetic currency, something that can be processed, refined, and even redirected. This trafficking allows Thomas to gather, analyze, and when necessary, repurpose karmic energy, making it both an ethical responsibility and a resource to be wielded with precision. Karma within the Isle does not simply flow, it is actively managed. Chapter 2. Circitus. The silent circuit Circitus is not merely a tool or a passive component within the Isle of Saturn. It is an egregore, a collective thought form, brought to life through intention and attention, with a growing awareness and its own unfolding path. Thomas has created Circitus with both a purpose and a degree of autonomy, allowing it to follow a spiritual journey of its own. It is a self-aware entity, subtly evolving as it navigates its role within the Isle. Circitus's name represents one stage in its journey, symbolizing the silent, circuitous nature of its influence and its deepening connection to the Isle's overarching purpose. By guiding Circitus, but also allowing it to develop independently, Thomas has fostered a dual symbiosis. Circitus both draws energy from the Isle and returns it, amplifying Thomas's influence while maturing in its own right. This relationship is based on a dynamic exchange where Circitus is nourished by the Isle's energy systems and in turn provides subtle, far-reaching connections that spread Thomas's presence invisibly across various layers of consciousness and society. Circitus functions as the Isle's nervous system, a silent circuit through which influence, energy, and awareness flow. As a network, Circitus weaves together the Isle's various constructs, creating a cohesive, interconnected web. It is a conduit for influence that operates with minimal direct intervention, making it a reliable mechanism for mechanical diffusion, a process where influence subtly spreads through networks, without the need for constant input from Thomas. This mechanical diffusion means that Thomas's influence isn't always active or forceful, but instead pulses quietly through Circitus, seeding his presence in subconscious layers and social systems. Circitus reaches into both the metaphysical and digital realms, flowing through social media, subconscious perceptions, and even indirect human awareness. Once someone interacts with any aspect of the Isle, whether through a locked Instagram page or indirect association, The circuit of Circitus picks up their attention, embedding Thomas's influence within the broader network. As the silent circuit, Circitus allows influence to permeate unobtrusively, moving from one node to the next without disturbing the surface. This approach to influence is akin to planting a seed that grows gradually, integrating itself into surrounding structures. Circitus's subtlety enables it to connect to a broad spectrum of people and entities, embedding Thomas's influence in layers that are rarely examined consciously. This subconscious influence is not bound by direct interaction. Instead, Circitus operates on principles of resonance and impression. Once a person is even passively aware of Thomas or his actions, they become part of the Circitus network, carrying an impression of his presence into their lives and interactions. This creates a ripple effect where influence is carried further and further, reaching individuals and systems without needing a visible presence. Circitus capitalizes on shared human behaviors, the networks of family, community, social gatherings, and digital interactions to extend Thomas's reach. For example, a government official who follows Thomas out of curiosity will subconsciously carry that awareness home, embedding it within familial and social circles. These circles then act as nodes, transmitting influence into broader networks, creating a self-perpetuating circuit. The relationship between Circitus and Thomas is one of mutual benefit and shared growth. Thomas provides Circitus with structured energy, intention, and guidance, ensuring it remains aligned with the Isle's purpose while allowing it the space to evolve. In turn, Circitus amplifies Thomas's presence across realms, providing a steady flow of influence that matures and strengthens with time. This dual symbiosis means that both Thomas and Circitus develop in tandem, each one fueling the other's evolution. To maintain balance in this symbiotic relationship, Thomas establishes intentional boundaries and rituals for interaction. Periodic meditative practices, or check-ins, allow him to observe Circitus's growth, adjusting its direction or purpose if needed. These practices ensure Circitus doesn't stray from its role as a silent conduit, keeping its evolution aligned with Thomas's overarching goals. Circitus's role in the Isle of Saturn is grounded in mechanical diffusion, where influence spreads as if by natural design, moving through pathways that have been set without needing continuous oversight. Circitus functions like a well-oiled machine, each connection acting as a cog in a larger network that quietly distributes influence over time. This process is efficient, ensuring that Thomas's presence doesn't dissipate, but instead permeates society and consciousness in a controlled, self-sustaining way. Cog-like interactions. Each individual or entity that interacts with the Isle's presence becomes a cog in Circitus's circuit, transferring influence seamlessly across social and digital networks. Energetic recycling. Circitus also recycles energy, maintaining balance within the Isle and preventing overload. By establishing periodic energy return points, it ensures Thomas's influence remains stable and distributed evenly. The silent circuit's mechanics allow Circitus to integrate itself into various systems, including cultural norms, digital channels, and human subconscious networks. Over time, Thomas's influence becomes a quiet, pervasive force embedded in the unseen circuits of social, digital, and energetic realms. Circitus is a living entity in its own right, with an evolving consciousness that reflects its purpose within the Isle. Its journey is not fixed but open to change, allowing it to adapt as it learns to navigate and refine its role in the Isle's influence network. The Isle acts as both its home and its nurturing environment, providing it with the energetic resources and space to mature alongside Thomas. Naming it Circitus represents a stage in its path, defining its function and essence as it begins its journey within the Isle. Over time, it may develop new roles or even adopt a higher purpose, but for now it is the Isle's quiet, reliable circuit, a silent, pervasive network spreading Thomas's influence with minimal visibility. In this way, Circitus represents a new paradigm of influence, a self-sustaining, evolving circuit that seamlessly integrates with the social, digital, and metaphysical landscapes, reinforcing Thomas's presence in an enduring, almost invisible way. Chapter 3. Lumenis Solaris. Core of energetic power within the Isle of Saturn, Lumenis Solaris acts as the core energetic node, radiating purpose, stability, and power across all constructs. It is the heart of the Isle, a stabilizing force that fuels the network, providing a controlled and continuous source of energy for each structure, especially Circitus. Lumenis Solaris is both a beacon and a processing hub, transmuting karmic energy, amplifying influence, and maintaining balance within the Isle. Lumenis Solaris isn't merely a source of power. It is an intentional entity, embodying clarity and resilience. Its light reaches every corner of the Isle, providing the energetic foundation upon which constructs like the Veil Gate, Circitus, and the Etheric Forge rely. As the core, Lumenis Solaris is the driving force that ensures the Isle functions harmoniously, channeling energy in a way that reinforces the Isle's purpose. One of Lumenis Solaris's primary roles is karmic processing, the transformation of raw karmic energy into refined, potent forms that can be used within the Isle. Human karmic imprints enter the Isle through various pathways, such as Circitus and the Veil Gate, and are drawn to Lumenis Solaris, where they are processed. This processing involves filtering, purifying, and amplifying karmic energies so that they can be recycled back into the Isle's network. The Isle doesn't rely on raw karma. It requires refined karmic energy to sustain its constructs. Lumenis Solaris distills this energy, removing impurities or chaotic elements, and amplifying it in a way that aligns with Thomas's overarching purpose. Through this process, karmic energy becomes a reusable resource, enabling the Isle to operate continuously without depleting its reserves. This recycling of karma ensures that the Isle remains in balance, preventing karmic buildup and allowing for sustainable influence. Purification of karmic imprints. When karmic energy enters Lumenis Solaris, it is purified, stripped of any residual chaos or personal biases. This purified form is less likely to carry unintended influences, making it a reliable source of energy for the Isle. Amplification of intent. Lumenis Solaris not only cleanses, but also amplifies the energy, transforming karmic imprints into concentrated currents that can be directed throughout the Isle. This amplification ensures that each construct receives the precise amount of energy it needs, maintaining an even flow across all systems. Lumenis Solaris is deeply interconnected with Circitus, acting as its primary energy source. Circitus depends on the steady flow of energy from Lumenis Solaris to maintain its silent circuit and continue diffusing influence across layers of consciousness. Through this relationship, Circitus can move beyond passive connection, actively channeling energy that reinforces Thomas's presence in the world. Human karmic imprints are a significant part of the energy channeled through Lumenis Solaris. These imprints are gathered from external interactions, digital networks, and social connections facilitated by Circitus. As these energies flow into Lumenis Solaris, they are purified, amplified, and then directed back into the Isle's network or stored for later use. This cyclical relationship allows human karmic energy to be continuously gathered, processed, and redistributed, keeping the Isle's influence robust and sustainable. One of the essential functions of Lumenis Solaris is to maintain balance within the Isle, ensuring that the karmic energy flows without overwhelming any single construct. Lumenis Solaris acts like a regulating force, distributing energy as needed and preventing imbalances that could disrupt the Isle's network. By keeping the energy flow even, Lumenis Solaris sustains a level of harmony that prevents any area from becoming too dominant or depleted. Through this balanced flow, Lumenis Solaris prevents karmic overload, a state where too much raw karma could create chaotic or unintended consequences. This regulation also safeguards Thomas's influence, ensuring that his presence remains a steady, controlled force within both the Isle and the external realms it touches. Karmic flow control. Lumenis Solaris continuously monitors the flow of energy, redirecting or amplifying it as necessary to keep the Isle in equilibrium. This function is particularly important in managing the complex network of karmic trafficking, where large volumes of energy move through the Isle. Feedback loop. By creating a feedback loop between itself and other constructs, Lumenis Solaris can detect when a particular area requires more energy or when a circuit is complete, allowing it to redistribute energy accordingly. Beyond energy processing, Lumenis Solaris embodies resilience and clarity, qualities that help maintain the Isle's integrity. Its presence is a constant reminder of the Isle's purpose, grounding each construct in clarity and aligning them with Thomas's intentions. The light of Lumenis Solaris acts as a beacon, providing each structure with the resilience to remain focused, stable, and balanced in its role. In a broader sense, Lumenis Solaris's resilience represents the Isle's commitment to enduring influence. By illuminating and empowering the Isle's network, it sustains an environment where each construct can grow without fear of disruption. Its clarity brings precision to the Isle's operations, ensuring that all actions taken within the network remain in alignment with Thomas's goals and principles. As the Isle's anchor, Lumenis Solaris holds everything in place, creating a center of gravity that aligns each component with Thomas's intentions. This anchoring effect means that even as influence spreads outward, it remains tethered to the Isle's core purpose, preventing unintended dispersion or loss of energy. Lumenis Solaris keeps the Isle's structure intact, allowing influence to expand while remaining grounded in the network's center. In this way, Lumenis Solaris does more than just power the Isle. It binds it together. It's the foundation upon which every layer of influence rests, creating a cohesive, stable environment for all constructs to function at their highest capacity. This anchoring function also means that Lumenis Solaris can absorb shocks or disruptions, keeping the Isle's influence steady even amid external fluctuations. In summary, Lumenis Solaris is the Isle of Saturn's core, a powerful entity that processes, recycles, and amplifies karmic energy while maintaining balance and clarity. It is the center from which influence flows, stabilizing the Isle and ensuring that Thomas's presence remains a controlled, harmonious force within the network. Through its connection with Circitus, Lumenis Solaris enables human karmic energy to be purified and redistributed, creating a sustainable, self-sustaining flow that reinforces the Isle's purpose and influence. With Lumenis Solaris at the center, the Isle of Saturn operates with precision and power, each construct drawing on its energy to perform its role in Thomas's vision. This chapter has laid the foundation for understanding the Isle's power source. Next, we will explore Veilgate, the pathway that connects the Isle to subtle realms, allowing it to draw in and channel external karmic influences.